Welcome to Fit Club Vegas, the ultimate fitness destination for visitors. Drop in for a day pass and experience our 10,000 square foot fitness playground. At Fit Club, you'll find state-of-the-art equipment and a sound system so good you'll pitch your headphones. Conveniently located 7 to 12 minutes from the Las Vegas Strip, Fit Club is a perfect spot for you to come get your pump while visiting Sin City. So come check us out at 4525 West Hacienda, Las Vegas, Nevada. Fit Club Vegas, more than a gym. It's a vibe.
Pacific West Injury Law. Injured? Call 602-HURT. Car accident? Call 602-HURT. Our firm is dedicated to you and your recovery.
Go.
It's April 1st, April Fool's Day. I was going to pull some bullshit.
Well, why didn't you?
Okay. Matt tried to send me that the Hollywood sign's coming to Vegas.
I said to Milos too.
Were you confused?
You know what? No, I actually believed it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he believed it.
I actually believed it.
No, it was like I saw it and I read it and you read through the thing. You're like April Fools.
Yeah.
You're like, what do you mean
Did it say April Fools,
It's at the very bottom. It says
anyway,
April Fools.
it wouldn't
It's
make
like,
any
wait
sense.
a minute here. You're going to take the Hollywood sign and move it to Las Vegas?
They actually talked about unassembling it, and the lease ran out.
Because the lease ran out because of some funding issues. And because they're moving Hollywood here to Summerlin, they're going to put it up in the mountains.
Hey, listen, Hunter says I'm the most gullible guy and the most naive guy. Anything passes by
you
me.
bought that watch. Right, that watch.
Where do you still have it?
No, I gave it as a gift to a good friend of mine.
Well, what a nice friend you are. You gave him a fake watch.
Listen. Yeah. He heard the story here, and I told him I would be more than happy to give it to you.
You know what? I really wish you'd have gave it to me because I would have kept that as a treasure. It's like a gift from Milos.
Well,
Milos.
I look for the guy again.
No, I'm gonna wear it.
I'm gonna wear it to that guy
When I go to
the Walmart.
I got the Milos special.
It would be no different than yours original.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm a
because you
sucker.
failed to warn me. I'll send you the picture in the video.
Tell me how training's going.
Good.
You feel
I trained with Hunter last night. You know, you can imagine Hunter being at.
So how many sets do you think you did?
We did like 2.5 hour training.
Oh my God!
You know, when Hunter gets
you
in,
need to get slim in there.
Yeah. Yeah,
he's trying
15 minute workout.
Listen, I'll bury any of you for 20 minutes, and after that, I'm done.
He figured he went to Torture late last night, thinking you were going to be there.
I went last night at like 7 because I was thinking it'd be empty. It was busier than any other time. Yeah.
I tell you this, Hunter would bury you on the back. Anything for back, you would be just shocked. Like, what? I'm serious.
Like
What'd you train last night?
Listen, I can train.
It's supposed to be a chest. So here it is. Monday is International Chest Day, right? And I was going to make a post. I put that flamingo picture and put International Legs Day. And I put the February 29th.
Yeah.
You know, but then because it's a sensitive issue that I said, I probably should be better off not, posting this right now. I wait a little bit. How many guys do you see really train legs nowadays?
You do?
Yeah, what?
Part, yeah.
Matt don't train legs.
Yeah.
I train legs very not heavy. Oh, Milos and I train legs. I didn't go. We went down.
Now that you said it, hey, hack press, the best machine ever developed for legs.
I like that one. It doesn't hurt at all.
Yeah,
it's good.
And you did the 2 sets. Congratulations.
I did as many as you.
That is pathetic.
I was just showing you.
I was just showing you. 6 plates on there. You don't even do more than 2.
Yeah, but it's a fake machine.
It doesn't matter.
If you're doing 6 plates,
he said.
He didn't do 6 plates. What do you mean?
Listen,
6 plates?
he said it's a fake machine. Why you have me doing a fake machine?
What do you mean 6 plates?
No.
Yeah,
I put 6 plates normally.
And he did 6?
No, he did.
Usually when I do it, I do like 3 or 4. I just don't go 2.
He just said he did 6, so he lied.
Yeah.
No, I did 6.
Okay,
that
next
day.
time, proof. Take a video and post on your.
Why don't you come train legs with Milos and I?
I can't do your legs now because of my knee.
You saw me training legs at Kilo.
Yeah, and I see you train legs at UFC headquarters. Remember?
Did he go more than a plate?
He did, impressive 2.5 plates.
Well, that's more. Usually you do like a plate and a 10. Nobody does. There's no need to.
I have 0 pain. That's all.
Yeah.
How much pain do you have? Shoulder.
I did my shoulder from my fall, but that's it. It's the only spot I had pain.
You were complaining about your joints, though, when you were here last
Yeah, I mean, my knee is destroyed, but I still have to arrange MRI and then surgeries and everything else.
Listen, does Cutler
I can't even squat.
Does Cutler Nutrition have a product that can help him with his pain?
I have my essential fats. And
Oh, shameless plug.
Nutritionally,
discount code.
I'm covered with everything. It's just this is 61 years of pounding hundreds and hundreds of tons.
Do you believe, though, when people talk about wait till you turn 50, wait till you turn 60, wait till you turn that whole thing?
My father was the first one to tell me.
Do you feel any different now at 61 versus 51?
I did not want to listen to these stories of what it's going to be, especially when they say 40 and then 50 and then especially 60. Exactly. Each decade, like 50, like you are right now, I felt huge decline from the 40s, and 60 even bigger. I think it's an accelerated pace. Joints are gone.
Don't you feel like if you stay active, though, it's better?
It is better, yeah.
It's less. I mean, if you're sitting on the couch every night and not doing as much movement, it would probably be worse.
Yeah. You should move it and do it lightly and safely. Look, today we had Victor Martinez and we had Sergio Oliva on the podcast, right? And Sergio was talking about training with Dorian. He says, literally, first set for chest, he put him on incline, 2 plates. No, 1 plate. Right away, 2 plates, and then 3 plates, and then 4 plates, right? If you go all out like this without proper warm-up and everything else, it's just, yeah.
You know what, though? You still train a lot heavier than even guys that are in their 20s.
I wouldn't say so.
I know you do.
Go look around the gym. April Fool's Day.
No. I'm not talking about pro bodybuilders. If you go in the gym now and you see people that are in shape, they're in their 20s and 30s, you still lift heavier than them at 60 years old.
Some exercises.
Yes. Yes. Because you'll see guys in there that still can't pick up the 50, 60-pound dumbbells.
Yeah, you know how it is. And really, when you get my age, you now have to force yourself to go to the gym. I mentioned this. Jay literally loves training. He would not miss the workout because he loves training. When you get with all these kind of injuries, it's kind of punishment. And then you drag yourself to the gym not because you want to, you need to, right? Then I realized this exercise hurts, this muscle. So let me just pick what I love doing the most. So I literally do the exercises I enjoy. And usually you're good at those and you can, pull some serious weight and squeeze the muscle, feel it, get the pump. Like that video that I did, I just got crazy pump, And there's no better feeling than when you establish this mind-muscle connection and you just see, okay, this is bursting. Let me take a 2-minute break and make a video.
So here's a question. Obviously, this is just a hypothetical, but if you were in pain, like he's describing, do you think you'd still be excited to go to the gym if it actually hurt you, like he's talking about?
That's a great question, but I would still do some sort of activity.
Like
I would do what you do and just avoid doing certain
things, or go very light.
Yeah, make sure you shut that off.
It's a good pain and a bad pain.
Are you going to run that camera, or you're not running it?
Not running it because we're going to use this.
Okay. You know what? Until I was dealt those cards, I wouldn't even know what to do. Actually,
you actually never had the injury, right?
Well, I had the bicep, but I don't have any pain. So, I did legs yesterday, and I mean, I didn't squat yesterday, but I've been doing now the what's the piece now where you get in and you do it's like a hack squat.
Pendulum.
Yeah.
I see you do the leg press.
It's like crazy now.
And I see you do the unilateral, right? One leg at a time. I do remember the discrepancy in your left and right leg, and then you told me
I still have it.
Yeah.
Wait till you see some of the new tech equipment that we saw this. So we're in
I've
Korea.
seen a hack squat.
There's a hack squat, and as you come down, the bottom goes out like this. So as you go down, your body actually comes. It goes up like this
in a deep squat.
They have that. They have a bunch more where the chest where they move. They have another one where you know how you do like kind of the bent over rows, but the handle stays the same. It turns.
Yeah.
So you don't feel it moving different on your fingers. They have a glute. They have like a hip thrust.
Yeah.
And as you step
movement.
up, the feet move.
Yeah.
They have so many new pieces, but they'll be here at the end of summer. Yeah. So you'll be able to check them out.
Mr. Buen is absolute genius.
So speaking of age, is Bonnick as good as he's ever been right now?
I said that today. I thought he was 44, but they correct me, he was like 42. And he's, I mean, if you cover the face and anything and just analyze the body and muscle, it's fresh, fibrotic, thin skin,
He showed
healthy.
the side chest from 18 Arnold versus this show that they did, and it's, dude, I think he's better now.
Possibly.
Condition, everything.
I said it many times, and they criticized me. Like Victor Martinez said, "Come on, Milos, let him retire, let him enjoy life." I said, when you're a pro bodybuilder and you sincerely love what you're doing, and then you're just gonna retire at your almost best. I mean, he's improving. Last year,
did he get second at the Olympia?
19.
Yeah, when first pro show of first Olympia of Hari Chopin. Yeah, when Brandon won and William was second and he was third.
You know, William came up to us at FIBO last year. We saw him in the gym. He was training, and you could tell he was a little like, I don't know, like kind of down because he kind of felt like he was
uncertain.
Uncertain, like not confident. Like, hey man, he hasn't been placing well, and you could just seeing him getting into these shows and getting his old self back. You can see his confidence is building, and I don't care what show he goes into, he is a threat to win.
Listen,
period.
I placed 10th 3 times in my life at Olympia, right? And that was the greatest achievement. I'm so happy about. He was like, what, 7, 8 this year, last year, right?
So here's another question.
But that's what Dennis made a comment like, oh, like he's not in his prime and one of the guys, like what is supposed to be, like top 3, top 5 to be one of the top guys? I mean, if you make a top 10, you're certainly a top Olympian.
So here's a question. If he's looking, and to me, I thought we're going to dissect the Detroit show. He looked as good there to me as he's ever looked. Do you think some of the shows that he goes into, he might get overlooked because people assume he's on the decline, even though he's not?
Yeah, you see how it is. Sonny Schmidt was my first training partner as a pro. He was hiding his age because he didn't want to say it because thinking they're going to judge him. Yeah, they're going to judge him differently. And I told you about Albert Beckless when I've seen his passport in a 91 European tour and said, oh my God, you're 61? I said, shut up. He didn't want people to, because as soon as you hear the age, you assume decline. And I do remember Wayne DeMilia back in the day, he was talking about certain guys, oh, he's over 40, over his prime. And, he put that idea of you're over the edge. Boniak looked like he can do this for a long time, like Dexter Jackson.
So we got the Pittsburgh coming up down the road here. I think there's a couple shows in between.
And he's doing it.
He's doing it. But all you hear people talking about is Martin, Nick, Derek. Can Bonnick beat the 3 of them?
I mean, he can be put in a mix. It's more than likely he can beat them because structurally he's not as wide as them, right? And which would be visible in some poses. But can he be competitive and can he beat some? Yeah. He beat Becruz last year in Spain. And Becruz was phenomenal. And Becruz is that you've seen.
I think he's a top 5 guy.
Beautiful physique, wide, lats open, create that X-frame and V-taper that Boniak didn't have. But Boniak had enough attributes to his physique to beat him.
Bonac gets crazy conditioned. I don't think there's a more per square inch muscled person on that stage, as muscular as Nick is. So standing next to a Martin or a Derek, can he expose them in areas? Or in Nick,
he can be very competitive. I don't want to say I don't believe it. I'm sure that if I ask Jay off the camera, he's going to say no chance that he can make a top 3, right?
No chance.
Huh?
No chance.
Yeah. I mean,
he's
realistic.
These guys are just too big for him. You got good Vito in there too.
Yeah.
You have a Michael
Who else do we
Krizo.
have? Yeah, Krizo. We don't know how he looks. I mean, that transformation might be the biggest transformation of the year. I mean, they showed him small when he had his surgery.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember
He
seeing
looked
him, I
ridiculous.
couldn't believe how small he got
ridiculous.
compared to, and he looks astounding.
You seen Michael Kriza when he came
yeah.
a couple of years ago in that Gold's Gym? He was posing for you, right?
If that guy had a back and he had bigger hamstrings, which I would
Yeah.
imagine
And
was it
glutes.
3 years ago, if he's changed even a little bit, that guy is a big problem.
Yeah.
What other
He's got the condition. I said to Matt the other day, I said, looking at him now, he's the best. He has the best condition in pictures that I've seen of any of the guys leading up to the contest, including Derek and Nick and all these guys.
Yeah, he should enter Brazil this weekend and FIBO 2 weeks from now. He should. I mean, Michael, if you're listening to this, like, why on earth would you?
I was surprised he wouldn't have done FIBO just because
FIBO,
it's
close
kind of
by.
his
How do you know
backyard.
he's not doing it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
we don't
Dennis
know
is
what the
promoter,
list
and I guess he's still not on the list.
Who's on the list? That's good.
Yes,
Sergio.
he did.
Is
Yes,
Bonnie
Sergio
doing it?
is.
Hey guys, Jay Cutler here. If you have not heard already, I launched my own TRT clinic. TRT Kingdom is now live. If you guys want to schedule your consultation, please click the link below and you'll get all the information you guys need for better health.
Not so far.
Not so far.
Not so
No,
far.
but this guy Sauce is going to
Yeah.
Tebow. He's going to be a problem.
Yeah, but to finish about the Bonyak is always competitive. He is consistent, always in a crazy condition, and now he's bigger. The only thing that he needs to pop the lats a little bit more out, can he possibly, and control the abs? And I think he's controlling abs way better than before. I analyze his videos, and we're going to do it right now, and I'm going to point out, when I see it, I'm going to point out. I'm like this. If you can show me abs for 1 second, freeze, and then I want you to hold for 2 and 3 and 5 and 10. Now you cannot show me abs if your life depends on it. But yeah, you'll see about. Hold on, don't change the screen.
I'm not sure. No,
You're gonna.
you're not, it's just the camera's on you.
Yeah, you're gonna see this with Bonyak in a few instances that maybe I can point out, and you can focus on it and get it. Are you gonna show this? Let's show this picture.
When we talk about it, I'll start it right here, and then you can talk about it. But I think what we want to do is just talk about the different opinions that we've heard about the Detroit Pro. I don't know if you want to start or.
First, props to Fuad. Everybody just raves about the show was first class, from the way they treat the athletes, the audience, the free live stream. I mean, it's huge thing.
I look, 130,000 people watched it.
Watching, okay.
Yes,
The
130,000.
again,
Shows on the bottom.
perfect light.
No way.
Yeah, 130,000 people watched it.
Really? So if that was $10, that would be 1.3 million. Yeah? Wow.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So anyway, speaking of stage, look at this stage.
So at one time or total?
It was total. I mean, it's been up for 24 hours, but 104. They streamed it on YouTube. You could see it. That's where I got 10 hours. Streamed it all on YouTube.
I only heard good things actually about. Someone hit me after, and I didn't watch the show, and they said the streaming was the best streaming they've seen of any contest.
And I heard Fuad say something like they were having a problem, and he hotspotted his phone, and they used his phone's hotspot to stream it.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he said. If I caught it right, but 130,000.
So at 130,000 after the fact.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant watching it.
No,
like,
well,
during the live.
I don't know how many. Well, think about it.
I
How
was
many?
going to say that's a lot.
I don't know how many people are watching it right at that moment, but it's only been up for 48 hours.
Someone can comment because they saw it.
Yeah,
in the bottom.
it's been up for 100. It's been up for 48 hours, and it's a 10-hour stream, and it says 130,000 views.
Well, you probably watched it 50 times.
No, I didn't. It's 10 hours.
Because what's cool is they did the amateur side too.
Yeah.
So they got to see kind of the whole, anyone that never watched the show before. Remember, there's a lot of fans that probably only follow Fuad because of the podcast. Yeah. So when they're like, hey, we're promoting this show, they probably watched it for the first time. There are probably a lot of first time people to see this lineup. I mean, it came together pretty well. It's kind of the second show to the Arnold now. Since the Arnold happened, and you had a pretty stellar lineup there. Plus, we had Classic. We'll talk a little bit about that.
Yep, we got the thing
leading in. We kind of knew Bonnick was gonna.
He's got.
Yeah, he was the front runner. Yeah,
front runner. The stuff that I had heard from it was, and you'll be able to see this from the videos that we have here. The lighting seemed to be dead on, and there's a black backdrop. something that people have been asking for years. And I know they had talked about the marketing for them were just above, so everyone still saw it, but the view for the judges was just a black backdrop. And you'll be able to see that from here.
You see, unfortunately, sponsors, and I'm sure you are one of the sponsors and you have your show, sponsors will want to see the video footage and read their names behind as the video footage is.
But you could still do that, though.
You have to be there. Yeah, you
because
have to
I
be
zoomed
there.
it out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but like when you watch it, you'll see the sponsors above, and then below where the judges see, it's just this. It would be just like this black backdrop that's behind Milos.
What if you have 100 sponsors?
Well, then you
got problems.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in defense of Olympia, Arnold, of
course.
it's very hard to put a black screen and not have sponsors there.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
if you had a sponsor, if you paid,
I understand. I would like
Please
to see
paid
my
them.
name there.
50, 100.
But then also, okay, once you start having this light special effects, and then you have a smoke coming out and unnecessary things, that has nothing to do with sponsors, right? And it's a show, it's production. It doesn't do nothing for your physique except it ruins it. Like I remember that 2023 Olympia, you couldn't see nothing.
What about something like this? This is what I said before. What about for prejudging the black backdrop, but then at the night show, now's the show. It's a form of entertainment. You're doing your routine, and then if you have all the sponsors and stuff out, then you can please both sides.
You know how it is.
Judging right.
Every time if you want to tell the truth, but truth hurts, then people judge you.
Of course.
Every bodybuilding fan would want to have a black background.
Bodybuilding fan and bodybuilder up there.
Yeah, everybody would.
Well, here, I'll pull up.
Because it's a bodybuilding show.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, you shouldn't have said that.
It's not a business, right?
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, we want to look at that way, but unfortunately now it's a business and a bodybuilding show
All right,
together.
so go ahead. This is what
Are
they're
you going
seeing
to the
right now.
screen?
Yep,
Okay,
they're seeing this.
so, and again, it's going to be Milos is criticizing. He has nothing good to say and all this stuff. I said this to all my guys. I said it to myself. Before we started, I told you, 1999, there was a picture of me in the Max Muscle magazine, and I was turning into the side triceps and my stomach was all over the place, which that bothers me now, 26 years later, right? Because how did I allow that to happen? So I had a Ron Gordon on the podcast last week, and I was telling him, look, you have that beautiful physique, small waist, flat stomach, and all this stuff, but I catch you in some of the videos that you let it go. And now, here's that, if you're going to show this first picture, this picture could be there on 1,000 screens. And right now, you see Ron is not controlling his abs. Why? It's in you. You are on the stage. The second you put your foot on the stage and lights are there, game is on. You have to be
And the
perfect.
second you start walking out.
So, shoulders, chest, whatever else, if you try to lose it, how are you going to lose it? It's there. But if you lose your stomach, as Phil Heath did in 2018 Olympia, that cost him the Olympia, right? And, just when you look like this, look, James, I love you. Look at this picture. You want that picture to be published anywhere? You're relaxed on the stage. Drop shoulders and the abs are not in. You can do that. Now, if you did this properly, look Sass. Sass is there. Washboard abs, ready, This is how everybody should be. So anyway, I just had to mention that right away. Boom. Okay. Wait. You're going to do the front relax? It's beautiful.
They don't judge that anymore.
They say they do. So here, for me, this is hashtag bodybuilding.
Go ahead.
As much as I say that some category, they have just front and back relaxer, it's not enough. If the whole bodybuilding contest was about the front relaxed pose, I could have been Mr. Olympia or being a contender, right? For me, okay, look great just standing there. This is how everything starts. James, didn't have legs on and stomach, not exactly. Sass has everything perfect, okay? I like front relaxed with the abs when you have crazy abs like this, like Hadi Chopin, right? Because it's 6 little muscle in the middle of the body. If you and I, okay, just glance for a second, what are you going to see? You're going to see the guy with the crazy abs. Okay, William, he's a tank. He's huge. I mean, when we talk about 42 years of age, and I don't know how much he weighed back in his prime, but I think that's old
His
William.
legs look back up to par too.
Yeah, and then Ron, I love Ron's physique, absolutely, but he was outclassed, outmasked. He looked like he didn't have enough size to match those guys. Okay, so I want to ask that question also to you. You were there in the Boston when Regan and I were watching Boniak's biceps and touching, and Regan was going crazy. Some guys are talking about, Boniak is shooting his bicep, and bothers me so much, and go back and forth. Yeah, you're blind, you don't see it. Watch this, watch that. I say, I've seen it, I've touched it. You know how hard it is. I've seen those fibers going all over the place. He does not have it. And then why would guys with the crazy biceps inject the biceps? End up being that this guy is actually, I'm a former judge. I say, holy hell. So former judge that is going to assume things like this with a premier bodybuilder, Arnold Classic winner, second place at Mr. Olympia, you're going to assume that he did something that he didn't? And then, not just that, now you publicly are pointing finger at. So, Boniak, I said, 1,000,000% has nothing in the arms and had a phenomenal arms. That's his characteristic way of doing a frontal biceps pose. I think exemplifies power and density. Shape is not exactly the best, right? But
he's defying all odds that after 40 you lose your legs.
Yeah. Not just
his legs are almost better than they've ever been right now.
Improving from every angle.
Yes,
from every
side,
angle.
Back, front.
See, so Ron has beautiful shape, not enough muscle. Those legs very separated, okay, conditioned, but not enough volume. Usually he has very good arms. I don't see why we don't see it here exactly. Hollingshead, again, maybe he didn't hit the pose correctly and he was not all in this pose. So I would go, obviously, Boniak first, Sass second, third, James, and fourth, Ron. How about you?
I see the same. Now, so Sass obviously took a lot of time off. I think 10 years he was away. Think about if he would have been able to compete all these years, where he could possibly be now. I think James, and I said this at the Arnold, we sat next to each other. What I'm seeing with James is he could really use someone that worked with me over those years with that tissue therapy, because what I'm noticing in his back and front double, he has the muscle. It's just I feel like he can't open because of a restriction. So in no way am I discrediting him because he has the ability. I think if he could get with a really good tissue manipulation person, it could make a huge difference, because not only is that going to help improve, because listen, the guy's got a ton of muscle. Look at his legs. He needs to be able to open up, because when he opens up more, not only in the posing, it will help his training. You understand? Yeah. So, like Boniak, Boniak is just, he's world class here. I think, you asked, can he crack that top three and beat out the Derek, Martin, Nick Walker train? He can be on the outside of those guys.
Yeah, and if they're not 100%,
off enough. I had imagined that. Very hard to imagine as someone in that position that one of those guys is going to be that much off that
to let him slide.
Yes, because those guys do carry a lot of. They're all young guys. Martin, Nick, Derek.
Martin's
they're all 21 and under.
Martin's 28, and the other guys are 31.
So, you have youth, and youth, you know, the pop, the pop of youth. And that's why Bonnick has surprised so much of us. I said this at the Arnold Classic. I sat there and I said, wow, Bonnick is impressive. Brandon Curry was impressive.
Yeah.
Here's the guys that were battling 1 and 2 a very short time ago at that contest. They actually flopped. Remember, they beat each other. And they were finishing back-to-back at that show.
Yeah.
And that was a couple years ago.
And that's were they 4th and 5th at Arnold, right? Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we had those other guys we were talking about, the Carlos Thomas, which we'll get to in a minute, the Jameses.
So you see the left biceps of Sass?
Yes.
So that's probably maybe that's why he was not training and competing for a while.
Well, I thought he had children. I think that's
Yeah,
the
too.
time off to have his kids.
Okay.
I mean, Sass, great front. He had a better lat spread before he fell into it to sit on the abs.
Yeah.
I felt like. Can you go back a little bit, Matt, so we can kind of see, so I can see what I'm talking about? So
So
just
not-
reverse a little bit. See that right there?
Yeah.
That's the pose right there. But for some reason, watch what happens here.
Yeah, wait. Just keep it like this for a second, and then, lat spread pose is to spread your lats and create that V-taper and X-frame, right? That's what judges are looking for. As much as I always want to say, if you have abs, bring them in. He should have stayed like this for a longer time before he sit on the abs, because, abs are visible, but this is lat spread pose. They want to see the width. So you're supposed to open up. Going from left, Ron has a beautiful physique and beautiful pose, but once again, not enough muscle. Once again, it is kind of stomach protruding instead of being flat, and then especially when you open up, it should be like Lee Haney's chest touching the chin. Yeah, open up, as wide as you can. I tell people, you focus on the end of the lats and try to touch your triceps. So push until you feel a kind of cramping feeling in your lats. Then you know that they're all the way out.
Because I'm almost getting into their pose right now. Right now. I just don't have any lats left.
This is good pose for Boniek, considering that he's a little bit narrow. He creates illusion and he can do this pose and pass. He's not going to beat some guys that have a crazy lat spread.
If you look at the posing of Bonnick and Ron, what are they doing to bring their flair to their quads that you and I both did?
Well, first tilt the hips and push the knees out.
And a little bend at the knees.
And bend it, yeah.
To really get that upper quad to come out. Yeah. What I noticed about yours is you created that crazy X.
Are you still saying that I had no legs?
No,
you and Fisker Near pissed me off?
You made subpar legs look decent.
Subpar legs. What an asshole.
No,
I'm putting that on a T-shirt. Subpar.
Subpar. Fake arms and subpar legs. What else?
I'll be honest.
And no belt.
And you're a stage decoration.
No, you did have great legs. But your abs were so good, I think it just, the attention to you went to the midsection. I thought and you were a handsome guy.
Now he's trying to.
Oh, nice. Nice. Okay. No way out. Subpar. I'm going to make a T-shirt.
No. I mean,
Fake
Dennis James, I'll never get over. Dennis James said on the podcast, he said, I saw your legs in those hot skins, and maybe you aligned the stripes perfect, so they made the... I used to wear mine backwards.
Push it. Really?
Yeah, because it made the legs look bigger if you wore your hot skins backwards.
They were back in that time, and those stripes, really, when you have a flare...
Did you set it perfect? So
of course. So, Sass, okay, this... I did it at the end of the last spread, just to show this pose also. Emphasize your traps and the shoulders and the arms, but you lose the width. Abs are there. Big Ramy used to do this kind of last spread, and a lot of people criticize him. I think this is the variation of each pose. If you have 2-3 ways of doing a same mandatory pose and bring something else to attention, like abs here, I would do it. But mostly last spread, I like to be expanded, And James... That's one of those poses, as you said, he just doesn't open up. I do think when you guys were in the UK and he competed, that he was opening up way more at that show.
Yeah, maybe what you're talking about. It could just be a straight tissue thing.
I'm 100% correct.
Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, James looked way improved from his Arnold Classic.
He's getting better and better.
Yeah.
The question is does he keep competing right now? See, when he moves around, you can see the shape. So
Yeah.
your top two guys here are pretty.
Yeah. Boniek
Pretty
is
impressive.
deadly. I mean, look at that. As good as it gets. So, everything. Shoulder, chest, shoulder, arm. That
Leg,
huge,
quad, hamstring.
huge ass. You know, I mean, that brings the thickness to his whole lower body, right? As ridiculous as it is, we talk about Michael Kriza having not much glutes. And even if the hamstrings are almost the same, when you have that big old ass attached to it, you know, it looks bigger overall. Sass
See,
looks
I'm
great.
thinking about the
James looks great.
Pittsburgh show with some of these other top guys, and look at Boniek right there.
Yeah, he's going to give them help in this pose.
That's one of Nick Walker's best poses, and
Yeah.
Boniek's right now. He's going to hang with him.
Yeah, he's going to hang with them most definitely.
Walker's pretty deadly in the side.
Yeah.
His leg
Yeah, it is.
from the side.
From the side. Nick's as good as anyone in the
It
business.
is.
So his Derek's improved a lot in his side pose.
James looks very good in his such a James has this round muscle belly, it's like chest and shoulders and arms and good legs, good sweep on the thigh, and that's super good pose for him. But probably a combination of not being as conditioned as top two, and
Separation.
not enough detail to move up. Ron looks great. It just, like I said, he needed more size.
Yeah, the height. He's a lot taller than these guys. It seems like he got third here last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I always said that Boniek from behind lower portion. I mean, it's just. I mean, he maybe have one of the best lower portion bodies in all of bodybuilding.
Yeah, monster.
The tie-ins and I mean, this is an improvement for Boniek.
Yeah, I should be speaking of man's ass, for 2 minutes straight. but what do you estimate? It's 20 pounds per butt cheek. I mean, look how much thickness he has. It's crazy.
I mean, Sasha's lower body's pretty incredible too.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit where his back, he's just not up to speed.
And this is how it is. When you are posing by yourself on your own, right? If you look at Sasa, that's a crazy legs. Like, oh my God. But then compared to Boniek, okay, he lost that shot in the lower body and upper body. I think that Sass need to focus on the back, even though this is not bad. When you froze this picture right now, you look pretty good. When
I watched online some video, it didn't look as impressive as this.
Like biceps, yeah. James is always good, and I've seen James before, a couple of weeks before the show when he would do these back double biceps, and it's that graininess and density of like Dorian Yates kind of skin and everything. I just wish that he brings this once on the stage, the same kind of density. Today we talk about it, and Danny James asked Chris Cormier, what would you rate his conditioning from 1 to 10? And Chris said a number I'm not going to say before. What would you rate his conditioning from 1 to 10?
Who?
7.
7. Yeah, we all said 7. James.
Yeah. James looked more conditioned when we saw him in the UK.
It's just,
UK, yeah.
Sometimes, man, after you put on that tan, and like, I'm sure he's absolutely shredded in person.
Probably.
Like standing next to these guys with the fibers, it all comes down to, remember, you're judged on a comparison. If James was by himself, you'd probably think he was absolutely in great condition.
Yeah.
Because he is in great shape.
Yeah. I criticized him for that show from the videos that I've seen on stream that he wasn't conditioned until you showed me.
Lights out.
Yeah, he was in very good condition. But Boniek, okay, in person, you can add like 20% more of conditioning that the naked eye can see that camera can't.
Yeah.
It's
His
perfect.
back, I saw someone say this earlier, his back almost touches his glutes. His lats.
Pretty low tied in there, which obviously can be harmful from the front side for him because the tie-ins are so low. That's why Dennis Wolf had such. His lats were a little higher, and his waist looked smaller. Pound for pound, guys, Bonnick is pretty damn complete.
Yes. Now
it's a good shot for all these guys.
Yeah.
all guys, yeah.
But
so Sass also is not a very wide guy, so that's structurally right. He needs a little bit more width on the lats. Waist is not super small, but the crazy abs can make him pass all that.
so we all agree with the judging here.
Oh, absolutely.
Very.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about this all year. The judging is just so spot on with
Yes.
every show, it seems like, with these top positions. Very rarely do we argue with the outcome.
Yeah, very rarely. And I mentioned this a few times, not kissing ass, but I really mean it. Tyler Mannion doing those reviews after the show are priceless. Educational for the audience, motivational for the athletes, and homework planned out. Right now, if he tells you, focus on this, focus on that, usually you can catch
It teaches people exactly how shows are judged.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people don't understand when you have a certain pose, you're judging from the back of the neck to the low calves, everything.
I talked to Hunter about this because people are confused on what they're looking at.
Yeah.
Because every guy looks great. They're pro bodybuilders.
Yeah. So now, you see, we all have a personal favorites. I was called unjustifiably biased coach.
You're totally biased. You're a subpar biased coach.
So look, you can put emphasis. I'm a shape guy, balance guy, aesthetics guy. And if you're a conditioning guy or if you're a freaky size guy, right? So if you put more focus on some of those aspects, then now this guy is winning.
Yeah.
I still think that in a physique development of any kind, balance is most important. Mm-hmm. Right? Bodybuilding is about balance. William wins this pose even though he is narrow, right? He still wins this pose. Oh. All four
Great shot.
looks great, yeah. And they're doing it a little bit differently. Now, I love William's side triceps, even though I never liked that leg position. I don't, but it works for him. Too much muscle, too much density, too much everything. Abs, visible, stomach flat, everything is popping, beautiful. Sass, I like it. I like when you bring that abs into the picture. He kind of raises his shoulder like you did, and it worked perfectly for you. His hamstring is hanging deeper and lower, so he's very competitive in this kind of shot on a lower body to Boniek, right?
See James's lat behind that tricep. Think about
Yeah.
if he could pull that shoulder back and put that
Yeah.
tricep against that lat.
The lat should not be visible, yeah. And that would smash your triceps even bigger. That's how you were creating illusion of a bigger triceps. At least I didn't cheat in posing. You know?
You're a cheating stage
Yeah.
decoration.
Yeah. Putting a gallon of Synthol, it's not cheating.
I thought it was Essicline.
Yeah, initially. So I love people putting abs in this pose. Side triceps with the abs. Brett Wilkin does it perfectly. One of the best poses.
Sass wins this pose.
Yeah. Okay, can you go just
God, he's
head back?
Shredded.
Head back.
Shredded. Sass.
A little bit back. I didn't pay attention about what I wanted to show about William.
Do we play?
Yeah, go a little bit more back. Okay, even here.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. So look at his right side of the abs. You could clearly see blocks, right? Okay. So now I would focus on that one. Forget about everything else. Shoulders, arms, just focus on abs. You have that, okay? Now you're going to turn to the front and do it both from both sides, okay? And just hold it and hold it. Keep it as long as you can. Breathe through your back. Because look, there are moments you can see that abs are there. But it looks to me that he pushes that muscle out instead of in. Look at Sass. He squeezes the abs in, glues to the spine, and it's flat.
Right
yeah. And here, most visible abs for Boniek. I have a feeling he can do both arms up and have a six-pack perfectly. James need a little bit deeper abs and also exhaling every bit of air that you have, and probably they will look deeper. Ron has a beautiful shape and detail there. Okay. On the picture, on the video here, you maybe can appreciate Boniek's most muscular, because in person, Boniek's most muscular is next level. It's off the chart. Sass looks great, but not enough to beat Boniek. So if you look, chest, shoulders, arms, legs, everything is bigger on Boniek. Okay? Sass brings condition every time, crazy condition. I think Boniek is a little bit denser, and maybe Sass was a little bit drier condition. But I would still give it Boniek easily. It's a combination of everything.
I agree. I was looking up quick to see if I could find the scorecards.
Yeah, the 3, 6, 9, 12 points. The
trade first
across the board.
I was listening to some of it, and it seemed from the opinions in the crowd, it seemed closer than it was, and I thought this was a clear win for.
This is another moment when let's let the stomach out because we don't care that we're on the stage, right? You can't do that. Let's discuss this 3, 6, 9 points, right? And it was much closer. So I hear these kind of things, especially Nick's second power. So, it's supposed to be much closer. Look, you can be competing against Ronnie and be so close that maybe some judges would think, okay, it's really between you two. But he edges you out by that. So every judge give him a first place, and then it looked like there was no fight. But everybody had to debate in which way to go. But eventually they can all put the first place. One guy get the 3 points, perfect score. Even though a couple of guys told me, you think that Sass has a chance? I said, Sass look phenomenal, but it's a Boniek show.
I thought Sass definitely brought the conditioning, but Boniek has enough push and a lot of maturity that I thought that his shape and the round muscle tissue. I mean, like you said, you guys are talking about him challenging top 3 at the next show. It sounds like he's going to do a lot of cleanup this year with a lot of shows. I mean, do you say that, or he's chasing a lot of, like he's doing a lot of contests?
I mean, the guy is always in the condition, so why not?
I thought, there was talk of him, walking away from competing last year. And
some people are saying that, yeah. But he did Spain, beat Behruz, won the show. Then he was second to Nathan Diasha in one of the shows. I forgot which one. Behruz was not going there. And then Dubai show, he placed second to Behruz, which I was delighted, of course, because he was danger. I was very much worried. Because Boniek is Boniek. Even if you have a shape and structure and everything else, it's so much dense muscle. Holy hell.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about classic physique. So Matt Grego pulls it off against Wesley. I thought after prejudging, the way it looked, that Wesley had a great shot to win this, because I feel like he improved a lot from the Schwarzenegger Classic. And
stay there.
I don't know if Matt had improved. I talked to Cito this morning, and I said, is Matt better here? Or it seemed like at the Arnold he made such an impact, so maybe that kind of got taken away a little bit, because Wesley has that crazy upper body. The legs just seem to hurt him quite a bit. Now, I've heard that now he's taken that time down. After this show, it wasn't, I think he already announced he wasn't going to compete in the Mr. Olympia anyway. Mm-hmm. But Grego has the crazy structure for Classic. I feel like he is a future champion in that division. He's young. He's hungry. I mean, he's 30 years old. You know, looking at Classic physique after looking at the Open, it's a big difference here, right, guys? I mean, I know they posed him down at the end, but
even though, I like to talk about that idea of posing Classic champion, Open champ. It's great. I love it.
Put them all up there.
I love it. Okay, it takes 3 minutes of everybody's time.
Put the 212 up there too.
And everybody would enjoy it, yes. That should be done always.
Just more for the fans than anything.
But here, I'm a huge fan of both guys. I think that Vasily is one of the smartest guys, trains and diets perfectly year-round, and has that quality that you just want to kill for. Like when you see he's most muscular, and then when he moves around and you see ropes on not just side delts, but front delts, chest righted, everything. Crazy conditioning, right? He impressed everybody when he won Arnold Classic last year. He didn't repeat that condition in either Olympia or earlier at Arnold Classic. If he is not full, you can see discrepancy upper body, lower body. And especially with somebody next to, like, Grego, that has a crazy legs, crazy sweep, you instantly, what I always say, cover the upper body, look at the legs. Okay, now.
Can I ask a question? Mm-hmm. I know we had a discussion last time in the podcast about, men's physique, Classic. Mm-hmm. Tell me the difference between Matt Grego's trunks there and Open.
They're a little thicker.
Okay, there's a major term that you just used.
Are we really going to go into the trunks discussion?
No.
I'm going to be.
No, he was just asking.
But does Grego look like he's in a Classic trunk, or does that look like an Open trunk?
Yeah, in between Open. I mean, I like it. So what are you going to do with Open trunks, right? You want to show the glutes. That's the only thing. If it's 1 inch on the side, a little bit to the left, a little bit more, I mean, who cares? But when they turn around, that's visible. Hold on. Analyze the physique. Grego is pretty much perfect Classic. Yeah. Shut the light, see the silhouette. This is it. Oh, my God. Okay. Turn the light. Now look at detail. Sartorius, lateralis, medialis, everything is there. Great small waist with the good deep abs, lats popping, shoulders. He needs to improve the arms, okay, to be a top contender. It's good condition, but Vasily was in better condition. Vasily has that ability of being peeled out of his mind with a thin skin and hardness. Vasily has a somewhat wider waist that you can hide, and then waist to legs ratio. This is where it's at. So instantly, if you pay attention to, how big are your legs in comparison to your waist? Left all day long, right? If you look for a separation and hardness, possibly, but this is no-brainer who wins this pose. Okay. Now here, I'll let you speak first. I'm talking too much always.
Go ahead, Jay.
Wesley's got the big front double. Like you said, I think Grego needs to improve the arms. Legs are phenomenal. I don't know. His conditioning looks really good here, though. I know you said Wesley was in better condition. I don't know if I'd agree with that.
He was.
Okay.
Yeah, he was. You could see, I mean, there's a level of skin thickness, and then separation and dryness. Don't get me wrong, they're both in great condition.
I like Grego's structure.
Structure,
more balanced.
No question.
Yeah, we talk Classic. I mean, he really made a statement at the Arnold, and this kind of carried over from that.
He has one of the best structures in
Classic,
yeah. Classic, yeah.
Sure.
And then legs are absolutely phenomenal. I love the waist. Yeah. And he's improving dramatically. I've seen last year, this year, comparisons like night and day. Okay. This is very competitive. Side chest. You can't see that much of discrepancy in the lower body. I mean, Vassy's legs look muscular enough. Not as big as Matt's, but more detail on the shoulder, more detail. Not so much more. When I've seen the video on the live stream, I actually thought that there was more difference, but here I don't see it exactly.
This is the first time I've seen it. I didn't see the classic, so.
Yeah, I would still give that post to Matt. And here now, upper body, Vasily all day long, but the whole physique. Now, how do you judge this one?
I think Wesley has a better back double, but the legs and the balance. To me, Wesley just like, I know you want to talk about glutes here.
I don't really. I know about glutes.
He just, I mean, he just doesn't have the
Doesn't have the
depth of
balance.
the lower body. So you can be impressed by the upper torso. Definitely a lot more detail in the back.
Do you know if Matt, how close is he to the cap?
I don't know. But here's a good question for judging of this. Okay, so let me ask you, Jay. Upper body, width of the back, thickness of the back. Look at the shoulder detail. When I was talking about better conditioning of Vasily, look at the striations that he dealt. Look at the tie-in.
Of course.
You know, so this is where you get, okay.
You close off the lower body and you look at the upper torso. That's how, then, do the same for the upper to the lower.
Yeah. But I must say that maybe from this angle, here he did squeeze the hamstrings good enough to see hamstring glute tie-in and then sweep on the thigh just enough to maybe create the illusion of it's not like so overpowering in the leg department. I mean, I would give a Vasily back double biceps, even with the smaller legs.
I agree with that, but that's why we're not judges.
Yeah. That's
Maybe
why
the judges
my question is to the judges. How do they
So I
judge?
look at Matt. Matt looks more balanced.
Yeah.
Wesley just is overwhelming in half of his body. Just completely overwhelming. His legs don't look bad, though. They're still conditioned. They're still separated. He just doesn't have as much.
Can he get
of
the
a
legs,
balance.
Milos?
I saw him after the Arnold, and I invited him to come and train legs. I guarantee everybody can make legs. If you do the right thing, you put the load. You and I were watching the videos of some guys, right? And like you said, 70% hamstring and 30% lower back. And if you want to put the load on the quad, there's a way to do it. You have to feel it.
No one wants to train their legs hard enough
I guess so.
or smart enough.
I call it flamingo license. Okay. You see what I'm saying about Vasyly's conditioning?
I can see what you mean, but I don't think it was that much drastic.
It was not so much drastic and structurally balanced shape.
I'm not a huge fan of the vacuum.
Never been, never will be.
Yeah, I'm just, so it's hard for me to grasp it sometimes. It's cool, but the abs too. So I can appreciate when a guy, but Gregor's structure is just
Beautiful.
yeah.
Flawless.
He'll be for sure in the mix at the Olympia.
He's going to be
For
very
sure.
dangerous for the Mr. Olympia.
And if the two guys that beat him at the Arnold don't come in 100%, and think of the improvements. I mean, he trains with Derek Lunsford.
Yeah.
He's gonna put beef on train with Derek.
Train their asses off.
So
That's what I heard, yeah.
he's gonna be a real problem like this year. All right, we're out of this now.
Yeah.
Are you impressed?
Yeah, the video footage is great.
Could Matt win the Olympia this year? He's got time to make improvements.
Yeah, it would be hard still. I mean, Mike the Badass, He has a perfect structure, absolutely perfect.
Do you think Ramon
And he gets in condition.
loses momentum a little bit without seeing him in the early season, or Urs?
No, maybe they put enough time to dedicate everything for that one show.
Are they both qualified?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I don't think Ramon is.
Oh,
Is it what is it? Is it top three?
I have no idea now. But I think, listen,
top three.
I've seen some of the pictures and videos of
Did
Ramon.
compete after the show? He did.
Did he?
After the Olympia.
Yeah, he won.
competed.
He won
Was it a show in Brazil?
in Brazil.
He
Yeah,
went somewhere. Ramon.
Ramon could be next level peeled. I mean, peeled out of his mind.
I think his problem is, I think Ramon's way over the weight cap, so he has to kill. It's like the Derek Lunsford effect of 212, where he just demolishes his body to make the weight. I mean, isn't he 270
I don't know.
right now?
He's big. Yeah, he's qualified.
He's very big.
Wow, there's wow.
So it really hurts these guys. How many qualifications do we have already?
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
No.
6, 6, 27, 28. There's 29 guys qualified already for Classic.
Wow.
Yeah,
Classic.
it's going to be double that.
Wow, for sure.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine some of the other divisions, like men's physique's probably about, actually, there might be less.
Not for long. I mean, there's a lot of singular men's physique shows coming
Oh,
out.
there's 38 already.
Wow.
Just reading on the list.
How many we got for open bodybuilding already for Olympia?
Let's see.
Vegas is going to be a hell of a contest this year, guys.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
We have a hell of
Really? That's it?
Well, Brett Wilkin won the Reno show last year, and then Samson, Hottie, Derek, Raphael Brandow won the show.
and he won't compete, will he?
Martin Fitzwater, Akeem, and Brandon Curry.
Okay. Well, I mean, Big Ramy is forever qualified, right?
Well,
Brandon
that's
Curry.
same with Brandon. He's qualified. I don't know, but Brandon, he's qualified, but I think he just said he's doing the Masters.
But
So
he was
may-
not on that list the other day. I looked at the list.
And there's still a lot of shows this year. I think there's like 12 more shows or 13 more shows. But I have a feeling you're going to see one guy win 2 or 3 of each of those. You're going to see a couple guys do 3, 4 shows in a row.
I mean, I've seen the video that Derek Lancer says, okay, he's going to be in New York, either on stage or in the audience. So if you win Pittsburgh, right, and you're in top shape and you're going to New York anyway,
It's still, listen, man, the New York title, in my opinion, it's still the 3rd most prestigious title you can get. Mm-hmm. Everyone from Jay to Ronnie to Phil, everybody, back then it was the Night of Champions, but that's still, they still want that ring and they want to say, I won it.
I commend Derek for doing this show. Really, he has much more to lose than to gain, and he's still doing it very gutsy, very confident. So if you're already doing Pittsburgh, I mean, a week later, you know, just spoil the plans of everybody.
Show list.
You know, those are the kind of things that I used to face. Those guys that I know I have no chance of beating them, and then they showed up in all of my shows. Like, God damn. You know, can you just skip some? Like Vince Taylor back in the day.
So we had Detroit, and then next weekend we have Arnold, South America. The weekend after that is FIBO. And then Pittsburgh's the 2nd week of May. The week after that is New York. Week after that is California. The week after that is Legions. The week after that is Toronto. The week after that is Dubai.
Are you serious?
There's a show in China. These are every week in a row. There's 2 pro shows in the same day. One in Beijing, China, and one in Dubai. The week after that is the Italy Pro. The week after that is Big Man in Portugal. Then there's 2 weeks in between in Chicago, but I was told Chicago doesn't have open men this year. I don't know if that's accurate or not. So there'll be a 2-week break. Then you have Tampa. Then you have Texas. And then Tampa, Texas.
That might be the last.
Then there's the Pro Italy and Oklahoma European Pro Championships. Tsunamis, September. I'm assuming those are going to be towards next year. Yeah. British Grand Prix, and that's the weekend after the Olympia. So we still got a lot of shows. A lot.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah. So there's it's set up for someone to potentially go 3, 4 shows in a row and win. Where in the past there'd be 2 or 3 weeks in between shows. There's that many shows in a row. So
It's China show. You said it was the same day.
it's the same day as a Dubai show.
Oh,
The 22nd, same
so
day.
here's strategy. Where do you go? Right?
Depends.
I mean, some of those guys that want to qualify for Olympia and they know they cannot win Dubai, they should maybe just fly to China.
I think I know who's doing it, but I don't know if
Really?
I'm allowed to say on camera.
Okay. Somebody we know?
Of course.
All right.